What's up everybody? I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got my $99 hoverboard and how you can too. So as you guys know, these hoverboards are starting to explode and burn and all this crazy stuff. They're creating a bad stigma. So parents are trying to get rid of them, and you can use this to your advantage to get yours for super cheap. Go on Craigslist, find a vendor who's selling them for used. Guys, that is the key word here. Used hoverboard. Find someone who's selling them and negotiate a price. They usually are in the price range starting around 150 to 200-ish for a used one. Negotiate the price a little bit. Plan to meet up in a local area. You want to meet in a parking lot of a Rite Aid or something like that. That's where I did. I met up in the local Rite Aid. Alright, so there are 3 things that you want to check. First is the exterior, interior, and the accessories. Okay, so let's break that down. The exterior, what does that mean? That is the, you just want to look at the board, look at the casing. Alright, how many scratches are there? How many nicks and chips are there? Those are different arguing points to help argue the price down even further. You also want to check that the LEDs are working, so you can turn the board on. Make sure it's charged. Make sure the board is charged. Do not buy a board that is completely dead. That's a red flag, and it probably does not work. Second point, the interior. All right, let's break that down. The interior are the motors, the batteries, the switches. These are major components that affect the performance of your ride. So to get an idea of how well the motors and the batteries have been used, ask the guy, how many hours has it been ridden? He may not really know a great answer, so maybe another way to get this information out of him is how many times has it been charged fully? So another thing you want to check is the charging port. Make sure it's clean, there's no dirt or any gunk in there. Make sure that these pins are nice and straight. You also want to check that the button is good to push, turns on, turns off. Make sure if it has speakers on it, that the speaker makes some noise, connect some Bluetooth to it. And lastly, you want to check the foot pads. This is where I was able to negotiate a huge price reduction on my board and get it for $99. The left foot pad works great. Go ahead and step on it, light comes on. Go on the right side, does not come on, right? But the guy did pull it out of the box and he stood on it and demoed it and it worked. I hopped on it and it worked. That's because when your shoes are on here, it's a bigger surface area and it pushes the whole pad. Only half of this pad is bad. The inside doesn't work, but the outside of the pad works. But this is kind of a big deal because if the outside fails, this right side will no longer work and the whole board won't work. So I was able to negotiate this knowing that it's probably not going to fail and it's an easy fix. So I was able to negotiate this down even further. Alright, moving on to the third and final point. These are the accessories. These are important things to check too, because although they don't add to the riding performance of your board, they do give you negotiating power if they are not working or are not included. So my model was stated to come with a key fob, one of these guys, a charger, and a carrying case. So now you want to just inspect all these, give them a quick look. Let's start with the carrying case. You want to check that it's got the 2 handles, that it's got everything that is included. The zipper isn't broken. These are little things, but you might be able to do a price reduction of like $10 or some negotiating power if the bag was broken. Turns out this bag was good, so I couldn't use that. Next thing you want to check the charger. You probably won't be able to check that you can plug it in and that it works unless you have an outlet. But the one thing you do want to check is that you can plug it into the board and that it actually goes into the board and nothing is bent, the holes aren't clogged, and everything like that. So that's another thing. If the charger does not work, that's probably a $20 negotiating power right there. And then lastly, this came with a key fob. Again, I'm probably never going to use this, but if the key fob doesn't work, that's another reason to negotiate further price reduction. And guys, there you have it. That's how you guys negotiate your board and get it super cheap and get your $99 hoverboard. Don't forget to comment below and let me know how cheap of a hoverboard you can get. Also, don't forget to subscribe and keep watching our crazy videos.